And the whole idea is to prevent these dogs from itching safely. In the olden days, we used to give steroids to stop itches. We don't do that anymore. You can get it taken care of.
All right, Dr. Kim always has a question.
All right, Ozzy.
And last little question here.
Okay.
Every now and then when I exercise my dog outside, he runs away. I cannot afford to fence in my yard. What should I do?
I want to tell you something. Invisible fence, invisible fence, invisible fence.
Invisible fence.
These are little wires that run around your property border. The dog wears a little tiny collar, and as it approaches the wire, it gets repelled, and they don't run away, and the invisible fence is really inexpensive. And this is the deal. Some people don't like the idea of, they call it a shock collar. It's really not a shock. But it's rather risk-reward. What's worse? Your dog running away, or getting hit by a car, or getting a little bit of reinforcement?
Little reinforcement.
Little reinforcement.
Dr. Kim, always a pleasure.
Fence. Okay.
Thank you for coming on. Ozzy, thank you as well. The time now is 9:25, and we have more news coming up, including a look at our top stories.
Another round of layoffs expected to hit Baltimore City schools. Coming up, though, we'll explain why this particular case is being viewed as a little bit of a win.
Local, late breaking. This is WBAL TV 11 News Saturday morning.
Welcome back to 11 News Saturday morning. I'm Lacey Griffith. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Jennifer Franciotti. We'll get to our top stories in just a moment. First, another look outside with our singing meteorologist, Miss Mary Marshall.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to weather. I've got to stick to weather. It's what I'm better at. But I will tell you that we do have some blue skies, not blue skies, gray skies out there. And we've seen showers most of the morning. We'll continue to see those through the afternoon and evening hours. We've been really getting pounded across the eastern shore where we still have the steady rain falling there. Some areas actually getting a break, albeit a brief one. It's still a break. So we are seeing that along parts of Howard County, Anne Arundel County, most of Baltimore County, and also around the Westminster area, also getting a little break right there. But it's not long lived. Look at this. Around Hagerstown, there's some more showers lining up, so you're about to get a second round of that rain coming through, and we'll keep the rain chance in until at least later on this evening. Well, coming up, I'll track this for you by the hour, show you the hourly forecast, and a sneak peek at Mother's Day in just a few moments.
Thanks, Mary. After months of fighting for funding, we now know just how deep those budget cuts will be at Baltimore City schools.
11 News reporter Omar Jimenez is live at City School headquarters with a look at how many are expected to impact classrooms. Good morning, Omar.
Good morning. Well, this is the third year in a row for layoffs, but the first one affecting teachers. Now, the good news is that it won't be 1,000 layoffs like the school system initially believed might be necessary, but it will come at a cost. 300 support staff, teachers, and administrators are expected to be cut as part of the $1.3 billion budget. Within that, the school CEO says probably less than 75 core classroom teachers will be impacted. Remember, it was only a few months back the school system announced an $130 million budget deficit. Now City Schools says if it wasn't for the $60 million from the city and state, this would have been much worse.
People often cite how much money we already receive as city schools, and certainly we need to do more with that, but I will just say we also know how much it costs, and there are just as many studies that point to what it really costs to educate young people for whom a large concentration of them live in poverty.
Now, the Baltimore Teachers Union says it is relieved to hear that the number of layoffs has significantly reduced, but they're still concerned about the effect losing these 300 will have on classrooms and the school environment. Reporting live from Baltimore Schools headquarters this morning, Omar Jimenez, WBAL TV 11 News.
Thanks, Omar. Governor Larry Hogan is now wading into that debate about noise near BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. He sent a letter to the FAA requesting it revert flights back to the pre-Next Gen patterns. Those Next Gen systems were implemented about 2 years ago. They use satellites to create new flight paths, causing jets to fly lower over homes. So now many in Severn, Ellicott City, and Columbia say those noise pollutions make their neighborhoods unlivable. There were more than 2,700 noise complaints last year. Airlines are getting ready as the U.S. is expected to announce a new laptop ban on flights from Europe. That announcement is expected within the week. The reason? Intelligence reports suggest terrorists may have found a way to conceal explosives in laptops. There's already a large electronics ban in place from certain airports in North Africa and the Middle East.
County Police Department's policy on immigration practices is now in black and white. The County Council Chair urged the department to create a written policy, which was released yesterday. 11 News reporter Vanessa Herring has details.
I think the confusion was coming from the national stage.
Howard County Council Chair John Weinstein tells me the police department's written policy released Friday sets the record straight on its immigration practices.
I believe because it's explicit, because the police have thoughtfully looked at all the different scenarios in which an interaction might occur, that this should provide some solace or some comfort to the people who are concerned, as well as some clarity.
Weinstein believes the policy is one of the strongest and clearest in Maryland. According to the policy, HCPD officers do not ask about immigration status, with the exception of investigations of suspected criminal activity. HCPD officers will not call Immigration and Customs Enforcement to arrest someone for civil violations of federal immigration laws. Officers who violate the policy will be held accountable.
If we receive information and conduct an investigation and find that we had a violation of that policy, then they would face disciplinary action that could be anywhere from counseling to termination.
In February, County Executive Alan Kittleman vetoed a bill approved by County Council establishing a sanctuary designation, at the time saying it caused unnecessary division in the community, put the county at risk of losing federal funding, and provided a false sense of security. In a statement, Kittleman said, "I appreciate the steps our police took by communicating our existing practices with the community, and with the community's input, turn those practices into a written policy that can be shared with our residents." Vanessa Herring, WBAL TV 11 News.
The police department has also created a brochure that will be handed out by officers. It will include resources for people who are foreign-born. The handout will be printed in English, Spanish, and Korean.
Well, the escaped convict who stayed on the run for nearly a week in Howard County is now back in Delaware this morning. A Wicomico County judge deemed David Watson not competent to stand trial yesterday. The state's attorney's office says Watson will be reevaluated for competency again in 6 months to a year. He escaped back on April the 28th while being transported from Delaware to Clifton T. Perkins Hospital in Jessup. He was found hiding in a drain pipe 6 days later. Watson is currently serving a 106-year sentence in Delaware for attempted murder, and he faces similar charges in Wicomico County.
A new policy at the Justice Department could have more people heading to prison and serving longer sentences. In a memo, Attorney General Jeff Sessions directs federal prosecutors to pursue the most serious charges possible against most suspects. This overturns an Obama-era policy aimed at reducing sentences for low-level drug offenders. The move has long been expected from Sessions, who has promised to make combating violence and drugs a top priority. Advocates criticize the move, saying it unfairly subjects minority communities to harsh sentences.
Monday is National Police Officers Memorial Day, a day set aside to honor those killed in the line of duty. And yesterday, a ceremony in Pikesville honored fallen Maryland State Troopers. Local and state leaders joined the families of the fallen heroes at Maryland State Police Headquarters. That ceremony honors the 43 state troopers killed in the line of duty. Governor Larry Hogan talked about the sacrifices that troopers make.
These heroes chose to answer the call. When many would run from danger and adversity, they bravely stood on the front lines. Their ultimate sacrifice is a debt which we can never truly repay.
Also honored during yesterday's ceremony, 2 troopers killed in action during World War II.
Well, treating migraines in pregnant women. Ahead in Our Woman's Doctor, what options expectant mothers have.
And Jax Teller becomes ruler of the realm in the new movie King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Lauren's review is still ahead.
Great day to sit at home and watch a movie. We are tracking showers in the area. We will talk about when they'll wrap up in the WBAL TV 11 forecast. Stay with us.
Still haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2 yet.
Now, your WBAL TV 11 weather forecast with meteorologist Mary Marshall.
Good morning, everyone. It certainly has been a dreary morning with lots of rain out there, and we'll continue to see that rain chance at least until afternoon. So far, we have scattered showers falling across the area. The steady rain is still over the eastern shore, falling in Centreville and Easton. Harford and Cecil counties also seeing some of that, but it looks like a little break right here, like just an area right in the middle with Westminster, Clarksville, Baltimore, Towson, Annapolis, all getting a break from the rain. But when we look out west, there is more to come. We are not done, my friends. We have some showers pushing outside of Hagerstown, and these showers will be making their way into Carroll County momentarily, so get ready for another round of rain. Let's quickly fast forward to the next few hours. This is how things are going to pan out. We'll continue to see those showers throughout the day. This is at 4 o'clock, still dealing with some light rain at this part as our system moves north and east, and then by 7 o'clock or so in the evening, you notice the bulk of that rain does shift off to the east. There'll still be a chance for a scattered shower, and tomorrow morning when you wake up, there'll still be some clouds and just a 20% chance for a shower on Mother's Day, but by Mother's Day afternoon, afternoon, things do begin to lighten up for us a bit. So still some clouds out there. This is tomorrow morning at about 11 a.m. up to noon. We still see those clouds, and then by the afternoon, things should begin to settle down for us. There'll be some lingering clouds, but most of the rain will have shifted over to the east of us. So that is some good news. Let's talk about the weather headlines. Cool today, along with rain. And again, the rain should begin to taper off after 7 o'clock this evening. Here's our low pressure system moving north and east. Eventually, it is going